There's something beautiful about this time of year when it comes to football and fantasy football and projecting who's going to have a big year, because no matter what, there's always someone from out of nowhere who has one of these breakout seasons, and I cannot wait to see who it's going to be in 2022. But let's go back in time. Here are the 5 biggest surprise breakout seasons of all time. Yes, we're starting number 5 in Cleveland when the lead back was a guy named Peyton Hillis. 2010 Peyton Hillis comes out of nowhere in a crowded backfield and ends up running for nearly 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. Peyton Hillis' 2010 came out of nowhere. He was in a running backfield in Arkansas with Felix Jones and Darren McFadden and was the fullback. Toils around the league for a few years, shows up in Cleveland in 2010, and has this out-of-nowhere 1,200-yard, 11-touchdown season. He then goes on to be on the cover of Madden. It is one of these deals where it is like, did this actually happen? It did. And no disrespect to Peyton Hillis, but it is an anomaly amongst the rest of the career that he had. He would go and play for several other teams, the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Giants. He would never come close to these numbers, and he would never come close to being on Madden again. But it's one of my favorite seasons of all time. Week after week, Peyton Hillis was just putting up huge numbers. Now, let's go to number 4. A guy who signed a free agent contract, was supposed to be the number 2 or 3 receiver, ends up being a number 1 receiver, one of the best receivers in the league. I'm talking about Kevin Curtis in the 2007 season. How about those McNabb uniforms we see from the throwbacks? We gotta love them. Kevin Curtis signs with the Eagles as a free agent after 3 years with the Rams and absolutely destroys the league. Kevin Curtis out of Utah State. Remember, the Eagles were loaded. They had tons of weapons everywhere. They were the team of the 2000s in a lot of ways. And yet this 2000 season, Kevin Curtis was the guy. Looking at his numbers over the course of his career, this one came seemingly out of nowhere. Yes, he had the big year in 05 for 800 yards, but was he the number 1 option with those Rams team? Never. Was he the number 1 option with those Eagles teams? Never, except for the 07 campaign. He is 3rd all time when he finished playing with the Eagles as far as single season receptions and receiving yards. When he left that team, it was like, what just happened? Kevin Curtis put on a show. This was a guy who was playing in the minor leagues before he eventually came back and then had a long career, went a bunch of places. Kevin Curtis and the Eagles, I'll never forget that season. All right, 2000, let me set the stage. Terrell Davis, no longer with the Denver Broncos. Everyone's like, Mike Shanahan's team is gonna vanish and go away. A rookie 6th round pick who was a former Marine out of Utah takes the rock and says, let me go on and be the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm talking about Mike Anderson. Mike Anderson's 2000 season, rarely talked about, but if you played fantasy football back then, you knew that this was a message, and Olandis Gary would soon follow, and then Clinton Portis after that. Just take a Broncos running back because they could do the work. Mike Anderson's best numbers came in the second half of this season, where he would put up huge performance after huge performance. Remember, former Marine who goes to Utah, and then in Utah excels, but is not drafted until the 6th round. Look at these 3 straight weeks that Mike Anderson had down the stretch in 2000. Or I'm sorry, these 2 weeks and then the week 3 game earlier. In week 14, he went for 251 and 4 tugs. In week 13, 195 and 2 touchdowns. And then in week 3 against the Raiders, to really kick off what everyone was saying, who's Mike Anderson? He went for 187 yards. Big fan of Mike's game, big running back, powerful running back with a really cool story. Number 2, I'm going to Green Bay, and I'm going to the 1989 campaign because I'm talking about the Magic Man, Don Mikowski. Let's see the Magic Man here. He was in the league for a bit. And it was in this weird stage where it was like the Packers just could not find a quarterback. We're used to it now, where the Packers have just had Favre and Rodgers and didn't have to worry about anything else. But for a while there, after Bart Starr, it was Lynn Dickey. We went around a little bit, and then the Magic Man came in '89, and not only excelled, he made Sterling Sharp and him one of the best duos in the league. Mikowski was amazing this year. Huge numbers, so much so that when the draft was rolling around, it was like, yeah, we'd love Troy Aikman. He went number 1. Number 2 overall, we're taking a big offensive lineman, and we're taking Tony Mandarich to block for Don Mikowski. Look at this season that he had in '89. He led the league in completions, led the league in passing yards, was 3rd in passing touchdowns. It was Joe Montana, it was Jim Everett, and it was Don Mikowski in the NFC. He was that good. Mikowski would bounce around a little bit here and we get injured, and then in 92, Favre took the reins and that was all you heard. Mikowski would find homes elsewhere, but would never have a season like he did in 89. And of course, had one of the coolest posters ever, one of those Costa Coast posters that had him in the hat and the wand, the Magic Man. But the #1 breakout season that I don't think anyone outside of a Foxborough zip code ever could imagine. Tom Brady in that second season coming off the bench and leading his team to the darn Super Bowl championship. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick and was 4th on the depth chart in 2000. He gets the backup job in 2001 and it's expected he'll never see the field. Remember, Drew Bledsoe was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He was the highest paid New England Patriots player ever. He also had taken the team to the Super Bowl just 4 years earlier. Bledsoe goes down, Brady comes in, and not only leads his team all the way to the Super Bowl, but Tom Brady actually put up big numbers as well. It's a miracle career, it's a miracle season, and in this one, I think it's the most surprising breakout season ever. If you were to ask the pundits in August of that year, who's gonna be the big breakout star of the NFL, I don't think anyone saw Tom Brady hoisting the Lombardi. Here's my list. Most surprising breakout seasons. It's a very specific category, but if you're a fantasy football player or if you're a fan of the Patriots or Packers, you know darn well how pleasantly surprised you were with these years. Gonna go around the horn here. We're gonna start with Michael Robinson, who has had many great seasons in his career. Who do you remember? Who did I leave off, and what do you make of my list?
First of all, Peter, great job, man. The list is awesome. Don Mikowski was throwing the ball to Sterling Sharp. Sterling Sharp, to me, is one of the greatest receivers to ever play. His career was cut short. I love the Mike Anderson one, too, man. Being in that zone scheme, it doesn't matter who the back is. You know what I'm saying? They can get 1,000 yards out of you. But I think you may have missed one of my favorite backs of all time. He played during the time that I played. Arian Foster, his 2010 season was epic. You guys remember, he got drafted in 2009, undrafted out of Tennessee. He only had 54 carries his rookie season. And then that second season in 2010, check this out, guys. 1,616 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns, over 2,200 scrimmage yards for 18 scrimmage touchdowns. The dude ran the widest of the wide outside zones, and he knew how to put his foot in the ground and get downhill, and he had that second level burst, that second level speed. I love Arian Foster. I wish he would have played a little bit longer, but you cannot forget about Arian Foster's 2010 season. Namaste, of course, he's a yogi.
Amazing.
All right, Peter, I'm in a tough spot right here, bud. I'm in a tough spot. I love you. I love Mike Anderson. I love Peyton Hillis. I don't know if we can put this list out on social media, Peter. Like, the 99 Rams, like, why is Kurt Warner not on the list?
Fair. Fair. Fair.
I mean,
fair.
Peter, did you just forget? Like, that has to be one, right? Like, what happened?
Fair. Absolutely fair. It can go there. You can go there in a million ways. You can put the whole team on that list. That's why we do the list. Kyle, if I was doing it right now, who had a more surprising breakout season, Kurt Warner or Tom Brady? My only thing is this. We knew Warner was the starter starting in week 1. That's the only reason I didn't put him in this. He was a starting quarterback in the NFL, and it didn't. Yeah. But you're right. I mean, his movie is truly American long shot. I mean, you might have a case here, Kyle.
Peter, tomorrow we're going to do a special Saturday show. He's got his list of top 5 pop rock bands from Liverpool, England. No Beatles. That's fine. Just go off it. Do your own thing. We love you, Peter. I think that was maybe a miss. I'm trying to help you here. Will, what do you got?
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree. Kurt Warner was a big miss there. Another one, Priest Holmes, okay? I picked Priest Holmes, rather, because he was a backup to Ricky Williams in Texas and goes undrafted, spends 4 years in Baltimore, primarily as the backup to Jamal Lewis. Then at the age of 28, guys, goes to KC, becomes an absolute superstar, first-team All-Pro in 3 straight seasons, in a golden era of running backs with guys like Marshall Faulk, Edgerrin James, Curtis Martin, LT. He had over 6,500 yards and 61 TDs over the course of those 3 years alone. You could put that 3-year stretch up against any running back who's ever played this game. Kansas City, just like Denver was this running back factory. They had guys like Priest Holmes, Jamal Charles, Barry Word. They just kept pumping them out. Larry Johnson? And then you got to get Priest Holmes in there. Unbelievable as a running back. Yes, Penn State guy. So Priest is my guy.
All correct. All good. We can do a list of 50 of these, okay? This is the point of it.